Hey everybody, today we have a comparison video with glowy primers is the best way I can explain it. So I picked up the Beiges, the new Chanel Beiges glowy primers, and I have all three of them. And I've worn them underneath my looks in various videos. My favorite is the Frosty White, then the Icy Beige. It's really close. The light copper is also really nice. It's just that my skin is so pale that it does impart a little bit of a bronze, like not a lot, a little bit. I did it when I did the, when I used, I can't remember which video, but it was sort of that icy look video because I wanted my skin to look a little deeper. Anyway, so it does have a little bit of warmth to it, and because I'm so pale, it doesn't match my neck when I do it. So that one I'll probably wear more in the summer, springtime, because believe it or not, I actually do get some color on my skin. So I'm gonna do comparisons. Now, when I was going through my glowy primers, I was like, wow, I actually have a lot more than I thought I did, which just shows me that I don't really use them very often. But I'm gonna do comparisons with like similar shades. To give you an example, this is LeBlanc, this is Chanel LeBlanc, this is in Rosy something, I don't remember the name of this, Rosy Light Drops. Then we have the Beiges, which is the Sheer Healthy Glow highlighting fluid. Then I have the Fluid Illuminator, which is the Iridescent Illuminating Fluid, which is like a little bit more bronzy. You get the picture. I have Solar Glow by Dolce & Gabbana. I have the Chantecaille. I have Lisa Eldridge. I have Armani. I have Tom Ford. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the Icy Beige, which is the pinkest, if you will, of the primers from Chanel. And it's not really pink, but it's the pinkest. And what I'm gonna do is just go like this. Now this is very thick. Like you would not generally put it on like this. Like this is a very thick swatch, but I kind of want you to see it compared to these other products, because otherwise it shears out. I am also going to do a side by side, but first let's start on this. Okay, so I think the closest with the Icy Beige is probably the Beige Sheer Healthy Glow. I'm going to do one with just pinks as well. Let's try that. Yeah, see how this one is definitely like a whiter, golder kind of thing. Like this looks more peach beige, and this one has more of that like gold. I don't know if it's going to be like the white one. We'll try that as well, but you can see the difference there. Okay, so those are those two. Let's try the Solar Glow. This is Dolce & Gabbana. I don't remember the name of this one, but I will make sure I put it down below. I think this one's going to be, yeah, that one's like really bronze, almost like gold, like a gold shade, which doesn't really match. Let's see, I have Fluid Sheer in 7. I think that one's going to be more pink. Yeah, I'll compare that one to the Frosty White because I think that's going to be better. Let's try the Lisa Eldridge. Let's try Crystal Nebula. All right, Crystal Nebula is the closest so far. Basically at the end, I'm gonna put one on each side. We'll see which one's like the closest to the other one. I have Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, who I have to admit was probably the first to do this to popularize it anyway. Put it here. Oh, that's actually really close. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the Lisa Eldridge, and yeah, that one's super close. Interesting. Okay, that's going to be too pink. That's going to be too pink. Let's do Chanel on one side. This is the Icy Beige. And then on the other side, we'll do the Hollywood Flawless Filter, because those seem to be the closest of all the ones that I have at the moment. Oh, I didn't try Auric though. Let me try Auric here. Okay, that's Auric. I didn't try that one. Well, let's try, put that next to it. That's the Flawless Filter. And then here's the Chanel again. It's kind of in between. I'd say it's still closest. Yeah, it's closest to the, okay. It's closest to the Hollywood. Not exact, but it's close. The Auric is a little too white, but I do have the Auric in Morganite, so it's like the lightest one, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so let's try it. Let's do little beiges over here. And don't worry about the redness. My skin gets a little red at first, and then it will sink in. And let's do the Hollywood Flawless Filter over here. And we'll talk about the difference in like just the way it feels as well, because there is a difference of like texture in just how these two feel on the skin. I think you can already see the Hollywood Flawless Filter is thicker. They look very shiny. Okay, let's let that sit in for a second. We'll start a couple minute timer. So I've let it sit for a while, and I think you can see that between the two, they look very similar. I'm looking in the 10x mirror and I cannot tell the difference between the two. This one, I think this one is has a little deeper. This is a little lighter. Now the feel is completely different. This side, the Chanel side, is silky. Feels very silky and very smooth. It's not very sticky. This side is stickier. Not by a lot, but it's stickier. This side feels silkier though. I'm gonna put a little bit of foundation over here, and we're gonna just see if it looks any different between the two. I'm gonna use the Chantecaille foundation because I know this works for me and I know how this looks. So I don't have to worry if it's, you know, I'll know if there's a difference. This is a foundation that you don't need a lot of. Don't try to pile on the Chantecaille because it just ends up looking, I don't know, not worse, but it doesn't look as good if you put on too much. Okay? Definitely have a glow to the skin. Went on seamlessly. Looks very nice. This is the Anissa Pinnacle brush, by the way, which is my favorite foundation brush. I just got the Wayne Goss one, and I will let you know how that one works for me, but I have to say, like, this is my favorite because I love the shape of it. I just think it's perfect. All right. So I do see a difference after the foundation is on. That is interesting. This looks more naturally glowy, like a skin glow, like I'm just healthy. This looks more luminescent. You see how this looks a little more matte? Not matte at all, it looks glowy, but this looks a little more luminescent. This looks more like a naturally healthy skin glow. And tell me if you see something different. That's what I see when I look in the mirror. I like this side better. I think it looks more natural. This looks a little more glowy. See the glow, the luminescence? Now that's not a bad thing, but for all over my face, I'd rather have this. This, I could see me putting here or even under my eye, but I like this for all over. Next, we're gonna go to the Frosty White. And when I do the Frosty White, I'm also gonna include rosy colors because the white has more of the elements of like a rose, and there wasn't a rose color for the Chanel. The icy beige is about as close as you get, but it's not really pink. So I'll show you all the ones I have for that as well so you guys can see it. But yeah, I think the shades are very similar between the icy beige and the Hollywood Flawless filter. This is the original Hollywood Flawless filter. Okay, washing this off, we'll go to the white rose next. So this is the Frosty White from Chanel, the new one. Like I said, I'll put it on kind of thick so you guys can see it really well. And we'll start with the other shades that I have that are considered white pink. So this is Giorgio Armani. This is number 7. This is the Fluid Sheer. And I don't even know if this exists anymore because Armani does weird things with its products. Okay, those two are similar. All right, the Auric. This is Morganite. Morganite has more of that platinum. This has more of like a white. Of those three, so far, the Armani is close. This one's like too platinum colored. Okay, let's try the ones that are a little pink and see if we have similarities. So the Chantecaille, this is my favorite product. This is the face tint in Sheer Glow Rose. This is a great product. Yeah, that's very similar, even though it's pink. You see how close that is to the white? All right, so the Auric's out as being close. Those two are very close. I mean, extremely close. Okay, here's the Tom Ford. Now this one is Glacial Rose. This is an old Tom Ford. I don't think this exists anymore. This is gonna be much deeper. You know what, I'll put that with the light copper because that's a really deep shade. Look, that's not gonna work. All right, let's try the Lisa Eldridge. This is, which shade is this one? This is Cosmic Rose. Yeah, that's definitely more pink. That might look more like, that one might look more like the Icy Beige, actually. We'll try that one out to see if it does, but I think that looks more like Icy Beige. Okay, we've got Solar Glow from Dolce. This is Sunlight number 2. This is a great product, but again, they don't make this anymore. This is a true icy pink. You can see how luminescently pink that is. I love that one, but again, it doesn't exist anymore. All right, let's try Chanel LeBlanc. This is the Rosy Light Drops. Again, that looks more like the Solar Drops from Dolce. It's got more of a pink, real pink. Let's try. Now, this product hasn't come out yet, so I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you're interested in seeing what it is, tune into the same version of this video that will be over on Patreon. Okay, for Patreon viewers, this, and eventually YouTube viewers when this comes out, when this is actually released, this is the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer. The shade of this is pink, okay? So it has a doe foot that looks like that. And let's see how it looks compared to all these others. Oh wow, that's a true pink. That looks a lot like my favorite Dolce & Gabbana Solar Glow that I just mentioned. It doesn't exist anymore. That's a replacement for that. Look at that. Oh, so excited. Okay, it's not like the Frosty White, but that is a good dupe for the Dolce & Gabbana that doesn't exist anymore. Wow, that's great. Okay, back to the YouTube people who, when this comes out, when this is actually released, I'll have the full version that's going to be up on Patreon up here as well. I'll just replace it. But for now, this new product that will be coming out in 2024 is a great replacement for the Dolce & Gabbana Solar Glow that I just mentioned was sold out. But it's not like the icy, the Frosty White. It's definitely pink. And last but not least, I want to take the, this is the Chanel cream that's Beige that somehow for some reason has not come out in America. I don't know why. In the United States it's not here. But yeah, that's a very different, this is the rosy beige. It's more, let's put it next to the icy beige and see if it looks like that, because I think it does. No, the icy beige is whiter. This is the cream. Let's try it next to the Lisa Eldridge that we talked about a minute ago. The, I'll give you the name in a second. Yeah, it's more like the icy beige. This shade was Cosmic Rose. So Cosmic Rose is more like the icy beige from Chanel. Even though it's called Cosmic Rose, it doesn't really look as pink. It looks more beige. All right, so the two that look most similar, the one that looks most similar to the Frosty White, guys, is the Sheer Glow Rose face tint from Chantecaille, because it's that one there. Weird. Okay, okay. Hey, I mean, that's why we're testing it. All right, so I am going to put, again, the Chanel on this side and the Chantecaille on this side. I'm putting my face in between these things, so don't worry. It's not like I left the the remnants over there. All right, let's do Chantecaille here. Now, the Chantecaille is very, very gel-like. It reminds me of the gel foundation that I like so much. It's really easy to go on. It's like super, super smooth. It's very comfortable. It feels great on the skin, and it's kind of cooling, which I know sounds odd because it's gel-like. It's gel-like. It's cooling. And there is 30 grams in here, 12 months shelf life, just so we know. There are 30 milliliters, 1 fluid ounce, and this is the Sheer Glow. It's a little over an ounce. It's 1.06, so they're about the same size. That's the Chantecaille, and let's put the Chanel on. I'm trying to do about the same amount. You can already tell between these two that, and I think it's true with the Charlotte Tilbury as well. The Chanel product is much less glowy. Like it's glowy, and it's got a beautiful luminescence to it, but it's a glow. That's how they describe it. It's glow. It's not an illuminator. The other products are more brightening, more illuminating. These are glow products. And the reason I think I was so drawn to them immediately, where I was like, I need to buy all of them. And to be honest, I am gonna buy, which is sad, I am gonna buy another Frosty White because I like it so much, because it's limited edition. So I'm gonna wait until Rhiannon has them at Nordstrom. I think she has them already. I have to ping her, but I'm gonna get them from her because I love to buy from Rhiannon when I can. She's just lovely. I love all my essays equally, but I want to get it from her. So yeah, I can tell you that like already you can see this is just much glowier, and glowy. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Glowiness is a good thing. It's just that for me, I'm not a super like glowy person. I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like when it's not as glowy. I like it a little more when it's like natural finish. So I think that's why I was so drawn to these Chanel products the minute I saw them. Like I was just like, oh yes, that's me, and why I immediately said you should buy them, because they're different from other illuminators I've tried. Because as you can see, they're natural looking, but the glow they create is just a lovely glow, not a I am shiny glow. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but I think the video will, you know, impart what I'm trying to say better than I could with words, because what I'm really trying to get at is I think the other products that have come on the market have all been good. The ones that I have anyway, because that's why I have them and I have used them. But I think the Chanel product is so natural in its glow that it just looks like you're healthy versus it looks like you're glowy, shiny. You see what I'm trying to say? This side certainly doesn't look bad. It looks nice. I love the Chantecaille product. But even this looks shinier than this. This is a preference thing. This is not a quality thing or one is a better product. That's not what this is about. This is a more natural, little more soft matte kind of look, where this is an illuminating look. And they're both really nice, but I do prefer this, I have to say. And I love the rose tint in Chantecaille. They both feel about the same on the skin though. They're both like a tiny bit sticky because I've just put it on. They both feel like silk. They both went on beautifully. They do have a different feel. The Chantecaille is more gel-like. The Chanel is more liquid, you know, it's a liquid. But yeah, they both feel lovely on the skin. I wouldn't say there's any difference there. So the difference will be more illumination with the Chantecaille, more of a natural finish with the Chanel, and then price. That would be the difference between the two. But you can see the color is almost identical. In fact, I don't see a difference in the color. The illumination, yes. Color, no. Shade looks the same. Now we're down to light copper. So like I said, the Frosty White is my favorite, followed by the Icy Beige, and then the light copper is my least favorite. Again, I like all of these, but you can see, and I'll put on a little bit more so we can, do you see how like, even when I shear it out, it's not as bad, but it is, you know, it's deeper for me because I am so incredibly pale. So this is one that I would probably wear more in the summer and spring. All right, let's try, this is the Tom Ford. This doesn't exist anymore. This is in shade Glacial Rose. This one, there's similarities, but I don't think it's too deep. Well, let's see. We'll see compared to the others. Okay, so then we have the Chanel. This is Or Ivory. I think this is gonna be too light. Yep, it's more of a gold. I don't really have anything that's just like that, actually. I tried it next to the Icy Beige. It's more gold. So I don't really have anything like the Or Ivory. Interesting, okay. All right, we've got the Chantecaille. Now this is of course the tanning one. I've made a mess of the top of this thing. That is the only thing I don't like about the Chantecaille product. It's the, you know, it's because it's in this jar, it gets messy. Now see, that's more of a bronze. I like this product too, don't get me wrong. Like this is one of my favorite, that and the rose are like two of my favorite products from Chantecaille. But you see how it's like more brown? This one, so far, most like the Tom Ford. Okay, the next product again is the same product from the other one, but for those of you on Patreon, you'll see what it is. For those of you on YouTube, you won't get to see what it is until it's released here in the United States or if you're a member of Patreon. Okay, for Patreon members, this is again the Dior Forever Glow. This is the Maximizer. This is in bronze. It also comes in a rose, the pink, there's a pink, there's a rose, and there's a bronze. I just got the pink and the bronze. Let's see. Oh wow, that's way deeper. Okay. So this one is more like the Chantecaille. It's like a bronze. I mean, it has some pink to it, But you can see it's nothing like this one. So I don't really have anything that's exactly like that. That's interesting. So the Tom Ford would be the closest at this point, but I actually don't have anything that's super close. Tubers. This is the product that'll be released in 2024 that I can't talk about yet, but you can see this is a very deep bronze, and it's even like, it has a little bit of red to it. I think this is going to be really pretty on a deeper skin tone. On my skin tone, I think I could use it as a bronzer, like in the bronze areas of my face, or as a little bit of a contour because it actually has some coolness to it. But this is a really nice color for somebody who has like a deeper skin tone, who's looking for a cool bronze. It's not super cool, but you know what I mean? It has like some reddish to it. That's going to be beautiful. The new product, by the way, does come in 3 shades. Pink, this is the bronze, and then a rose, which I did not get. So now I'm kind of interested in getting that one too, but maybe I'll get that when it's actually released. But yeah, I don't really, the closest thing I have to the light copper is the Tom Ford. That's so interesting. That's the closest thing. And honestly, that's not, and that's Glacial Rose, and it's not even that close. Okay guys, because I don't have anything that's that close to the light copper, I'm just gonna put the light copper all over my face so you guys can see what it looks like. So it's a unique shade for me. You know, it has, yes, a copper shade. And the reason that copper is different than bronze is copper has a pink to it. Not a lot of pink, but a little bit of pink. And I just don't think I have anything like it because the pinky shades that I have, I tried, like the Tom Ford, which is the rose, and the other pink shades I have, as you saw, are like icy pinks. They're not a deeper pink, except for the Tom Ford one. And the Tom Ford one's close, but, you know, not that close. I mean, that's kind of close. But this is what the light copper looks like on me. And can you see, like, it does impart a little bit of color? See what I mean? Not a ton, but a little bit. Enough to where it doesn't completely match my neck. Now, like I said, in the summer and the spring months, my skin does warm up a little bit. Not a lot. And over the years, to be very honest, I do my best to stay out of the sun completely. So, you know, I've had less exposure to the sun over time. But, you know, everybody, unless you're wearing SPF 50 and an umbrella at all times, you're going to get some sun. So my skin does deepen up a tad bit in the summer, and I would say it's probably the color that you see there with the light copper on it. So I think that'll work out nicely for the summer and for the spring, because I'll want to look a little more bronzed, if you will, and that's about the amount that I would actually, you know, bronze in real life. So that will be a good look. But like I said, I don't have anything like light copper, Nebula Beige's primer, because the closest thing I have to it is the Tom Ford, which doesn't exist anymore, in shade, what was the shade again? I've already forgotten. Glacial Rose. The bronzy shades are too bronze to be just like it. The pink shades that I have are either bright pink or like a whitish pink, like the Chantecaille. So I don't have anything like the light copper. Yeah, that's exact. So that is the one of all of the 3 Chanels that really stands out in my collection, because I don't have anything else like it. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys. And I would say, you know, of all the primers that I have, the glowy primers, they're not necessarily described as primers, by the way. Many of these things are described as illuminators or glow products, so they're not necessarily described as primers, but that's how I've generally used them. The Chanel ones are my favorite because of what I've said now 3 times. This is my 3rd time saying it. It has this natural glow to it that looks, and it feels phenomenal, but it just looks really healthy and natural. It doesn't look illuminated. Now, if you're looking for illumination, the Chantecaille products are excellent. Again, they're in that tube, which I don't particularly love, but they do. They look absolutely beautiful on the skin. The new products that I can't talk about also look very promising. I haven't really used them all over my face yet, but they do look promising, and they come in 3 shades, so that'll be interesting. You know, I really like the feel of this. I think it looks really natural, really beautiful. It feels good on the skin. It doesn't age you if you're somebody who is more concerned about texture and lines. This doesn't have that reflective nature that a lot of illuminators have. So it just looks healthy. And I just have to say, like, I'm so impressed with the way they all look. I'm very tempted to buy the Frosty White and the Icy Beige again, like to get backups of them. I don't know how long they would last. The problem with creams don't last as long as powders. So if I kept them sealed, you know, could I use them in 2 years? That's the thing. I don't know. Sometimes you can, and sometimes they just go bad. And there's no point in buying it if it's just gonna go bad. So that's why I haven't, you know, how much will I use them every day? But I have to say, I have been using them with all my makeup since I bought them. I really have been, because I really like the way they look. I really think they improve the look of my skin, and I like the way they feel. So, you know, I'm really teetering on buying both, but I'm definitely gonna get the Frosty White one, because I think I could use that up in a relatively short time. So that's my take. That's the overall glowy primer, highlighters, whatever you want to call them, that I have in my collection, and how they compare to the new Chanel's. Like I said, the new product, the full video with the new product, what it is, will be over on Patreon until it's released here, and then I'll make sure that information's up over here as well. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I can't wait to hear all your thoughts on all of these glowy primers, and your thoughts on Chanel versus the rest of them. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.